Hello. I always get confused with Restream. I guess there's going to be a bit of a gap before I start because it gives a bit of a gap. So I do apologize. Yeah, so today I'm here the webinar is going to be about habits that build, stroke boost our immunity. So these are the things that I've used in my personal life. But before I start, I'll share my screen so get my slides up. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, great. So I'd like to introduce myself. If you haven't watched me before, you haven't been on any of my programs before, my name's Eddie Smith. I'm a health and fitness coach. I'm also the founder of A Peony Life. Um, as I said, I am a health and fitness coach. I specialize more in nutrition, and I work with the body, mind, and spirit to see my if there are any chats coming in. I work with the body, mind, and spirit. So because I believe that we have to work with all three aspects of our being to be able to have full to be able to have full full experience of us as human beings. Because if you remember, or if you know, we are spirits having a human experience, and sometimes we forget and think that we're humans having a spiritual experience. So, in terms of my qualifications, I'm a nutritionist. I've also studied aromatherapy, um, EFT, which is I always forget when I'm stressed out. EFT, which is the other name for it, is also tapping, where you tap on different pressure points to be able to help yourself to work on things like stress or pain, um, kind of ailments that you want to work on. So EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and also NLP, which is Neuro Linguistic Programming. So, but like I said, I work mainly as a coach. Um, so, if I tell you about my journey, so how did I get here? Why did I choose to work in this field? I used to work in resources, and I decided to go into this field when I think it was almost about 30 years ago. I was diagnosed with, I started having symptoms and got diagnosed with an autoimmune problem. So I was hyperthyroidism, and then 3 or 4 years down the line, I became hypo. And at the same time, I also started suffering from back pain, chronic back pain, which was very debilitating. And so I lived with that. I was on medication for 20 years plus, and then 6, 7 years ago, I decided there's got to be something more to this, and so I decided to try out alternatives, and it worked for me. And so now I teach people, I coach people in ways that they can use alternatives to help themselves achieve their health goals. Okay, so before I start, I'd like to just read out my disclaimer with my glasses on. So the information given in this webinar is provided as information and educational purposes only, and should not be used as a substitute for your health provider. It is not a magic button or like popping a pill to get results in an instant. This is not for a quick fix solution person. What I share requires work, dedication, and commitment on your part. Please consult your healthcare provider before taking any healthcare decisions or for guidance if you have any medical conditions. So, yeah, so that's it in a nutshell. So, I'll just get right into it now and tell you about the habits that I have chosen to talk about today. So, the immune system. Just a quick overview, because it's a major part of us, and it takes people study this for years, months and months, several hours to be able to understand the immune system. But just talking about the immune system for me, just simplifying it, that's what I'm going to do today. So what does the immune system do? I just put this on so I don't miss any of my points. So we continually exposed to different organisms. So we inhale things, we swallow things, things go on our skin. As you know, our skin is the largest organ. So we put things on our skin and things come in contact with our skin, but they also go inside us too, like the mucous membrane. And these, if the immune system is compromised, it can lead to disease. So integrity of the immune system is key. It acts as the body's defense mechanism. So we don't notice anything about the immune system when we're feeling fine. We only notice things when there's a problem. So either it's overactive or underactive, where there's a risk of infection or other health conditions. So our immune system works to protect us daily. It works to neutralize and remove pathogens like bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungi. Um, the immune system is an amazing system. It's yeah, it's an amazing system. It's an innate system and it's also adaptive. So it's innate in a way that it works as a general defense against pathogens, like I said earlier, and it targets specific pathogens, and they both complement each other to help us stay well and fit. Um, so that's it. So yeah, and yeah, something else I wanted to talk to you about the immune system. This is something I heard, which I thought was really, really simple and just kind of makes you really understand how the body works. So we've got all these things within us, um, viruses, bacteria, cells, all within us, and they're all living and they're all it's actually called, like with the gut, it's called the gut flora. But I guess not just the gut, but the whole body. You know, we've got cells and stuff, and we need to. They all have their own purpose, you know, and they all want to stay alive, and so we need a strong immune system. So when we've got bacteria, or we have how many trillion, quite a few trillion bacteria and viruses within us, um, and we need to be able to get the immune system to be working fine so that they're not overgrown and then cause diseases and make us sick. So he told the story because I think when he was in, I think he might have been in college or university, or he could have been in high school, or he was in a lab, and he was really interested in the immune system from a very young age. And what he did is he put some pathogens on a slide, you know, the slides that you have in the labs, and then he puts immune cells on the slide, and then he put that under the microscope and just watch the activity going on. And what he noticed was that the immune cells kind of turned round and went in the one direction, and then formed a formation, and the smallest one went to the pathogens, and then there was another one that came across, and the third one, and then the whole lot just went across to the pathogens and split the pathogens and destroyed them, um, so that they were not harmful to the body anymore. And then the second experiment he did was where he put more pathogens than the immune cells, so times 10 of the pathogens. And so what the pathogens did is that they surrounded the immune cells. But what the immune cells instinctively did was they split into two. So they came like an hourglass, they split and they kept splitting and splitting until they were much more than the bacteria, than the pathogens. But what the pathogens did is that they came in, they kept coming in and enclosing them and enclosing the immune cells. And I thought that was really cool that they divided and divided until they overtook and then they spread, and then did the same thing like in the first experiment. Then they went away, formed the formation, and came back and split the pathogens. So that's key to show that we do need our immune systems to be working strong so that it can work for us. And that is that's the job of the immune system. So if I now go into the habits I've chosen, 3 habits, which covers quite a lot. 3 habits that we need to do to be able to build our immune system. And one thing I find is that if this is new to you, and you just need to take it step at a time, there's no rush, because when you put stress on the body, that then defeats the purpose, because then the immune system weakens with stress, which we will talk about later. So the first habits that I've chosen is good nutrition. We can't have good nutrition and immune system not working as we would like it to, because nutrition is not the only thing that we need, but nutrition, it plays a big role in. See if I've got any messages, nothing there. Nutrition plays a big role in our health, and so what I've decided to choose today, because obviously it's a big topic and it's different for everybody. What I've decided to talk about today is looking at foods that are inflammatory. Um, Inflammatory foods can cause chronic inflammation, which can then lead to disease. So things like vegetable and seed oil are inflammatory, fried foods are inflammatory, artificial sweeteners, processed meat, processed carbohydrates, and sugars, refined sugars. So we should always bring the natural sugar, refined salt, alcohol. So if you do take alcohol, moderate consumption is key, because that depletes the weakens the immune system. So suggestions for building up your immune system. So things like if you if you eat meat, bone broth is really good. And when you get in any kind of meat, ensure that it doesn't have antibiotics, because it's not fed antibiotics, because that goes through to us, and that makes our immune system weaker, because the antibiotics break down the cells. So the thing with antibiotics is they don't just break down the bad bacteria, they break down all bacteria. And some bacteria we do need to thrive. So when you buy meat, organic, grass-fed, if it's beef or meat, if it's poultry, organic, free range, and that's the best thing. And obviously, if you can't afford that, then maybe not a lot. If you can stay away from animal products, that's key. Obviously, if you've got disease or you've got anything wrong, like with my autoimmunity, I had to cut out animal products, on which I've thought I would cut out animal products, because usually they're one of the offenders, like the dairy meat, one of the offenders in terms of when you want to heal. Obviously, when you're healed, then you can eat in moderation. But when you're trying to heal, and you want to heal quickly, it would be best to cut it out. So I did that, and that I did that only for like 6 months. But now I'm thinking that, because I really want to develop my spirituality and develop my health, I'm deciding to cut that out, because that helps. So something else that helps for the immune system in terms of what we eat: ginger, green tea, obviously fruits and veg. So plant-based diet is always the best. Um, Vitamin C and beta carotene foods are great and ideal. Um, yeah. Okay. So moving on to habit number 2. So habit number 2, we're looking at herbs, supplements, essential oils. I love my essential oils. As you can see behind, I don't know if you can see behind, I've got my diffuser going on, because with essential oils you can rub them. I make my cream with that. Then you can ingest some of them, not all of them, and you can just use it to refresh your room. And when you're getting essential oils, again, you have to look at the quality. Usually, because there's no legislation to say, I think you need to have 6% in it, and they can write that it's 100% pure. So going with recommendations is always good. There are a few companies out there that are tested and tested and outside testing. And so it's always good to check it out before you use it, because especially, I mean, even if you're only using it to diffuse, obviously breathing in something that's toxic is also not good for you. So having pure is always good, and convert recommendations. So essential oils that are really good for the immune system: myrrh, and frankincense, and oregano. Oregano is really really good. Oregano is 5 times as strong as penicillin. So I use it like for colds, to prevent colds, to prevent bacteria. To just use that regularly. So when it's coming up to the flu season, I'm having more of that. You can also use them for, like oregano. You can use it for cooking. Same as I use a lot of oregano with my cooking. Not just essential, but the herbs itself. So oregano herbs. A lot of herbs are really good for healing and boosting the immune system. Supplements that are really good. So probiotics, prebiotics, really good. Vitamins D, especially in the winter and the darker your skin, the more vitamin D you need. If your vitamin D levels are higher, your immune system is higher. So when you get attacked by a virus or bacteria, you're able to fight. So your vitamins are really key. The zinc is really, really key. Vitamin C, like we said earlier, is very key to have a strong immune system. Find out that when you have a strong immune system, I mean, I've had the flu, I can remember 20, 30 years, you know, I just don't, well, as a child, I used to be sick very regularly, but as an adult, I can't remember when I've been sick, apart from morning sickness from pregnancies. I don't get the flu. Um, Even when my immune system was not very strong, but I guess I've always eaten right. I've always, yeah, my nutrition has always been good. So three, habit number three is lifestyle. So lifestyle, um, I talk a lot about stress management, because what you think about, you can learn how to manage your stress. So there are tools and techniques that you can use to manage stress, so that you're, because when you, I like there is research to show that stress is the number one killer, because with stress you can get other conditions. You can get things like IBS. Actually, I had some notes somewhere about. Oh yeah, I missed that section. I do apologize. So I forgot to talk about immune system diseases. So immune system diseases are allergies, things like asthma. Those are the diseases. Then immune deficiency diseases are where the immune system acts slowly, and so on. These are things like HIV, AIDS, drug-induced deficiencies. Autoimmune diseases are also what are fallen. So a third disease could be autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, thyroid problems, and lupus, IBS, multiple sclerosis, sorry, tongue twister for me, and diabetes type 1, and fibromyalgia, etc. And last time I looked, and I bet there's more, there were 80 diseases that fell under the autoimmune bracket. So, autoimmunity is a big thing that's growing in the Western world. Um, I mean, I don't know why. Maybe it's, well, there are several reasons. There's several theories about that. But going on to the habits again. Sorry, I missed that bit out. That's why I should have been looking at my notes. So the habit number three, lifestyle, exercise. So I did a video on exercise. So like to moderate exercise, because when you do um, heavy exercise, that stresses the body out and then weakens the immune system. Sometimes we need to, and we can recover from that. We need to that if we're training for a marathon or something. We need to, but as a constant, year in year out, that would weaken your immune system. So like to moderate exercise. I would choose exercise that you enjoy. So it could be as simple as just walking for 30 minutes a day, briskly, to maybe get your heart rate a bit up. That would be ideal. Um, you can join a gym. There's a lot of things on the internet that you can do. So something that you can enjoy, that you be consistent with. So exercise is critical. Obviously, if you were doing exercise to lose weight, there's exercise for that, special type of exercise that you can do for 30 minutes that helps to lose weight in conjunction with your diet. So we talked about stress management, the importance of stress management. Your thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts have been negative. Your body does understand and acts towards that. So it's important that you try and keep your thoughts positive. Keeping your thoughts positive also involves what you eat because that can help, and exercise that you do, so your cortisol levels and all that. So it's important that you get everything balanced. Good sleep is very important too. Um, if you're not sleeping properly, that could be a sign that we're stressed. So we need to manage that. And the tools that you can use if you're having problems to sleep, the tools that you can use that can help you to get sleep. The thing with sleep is that to get your circadian rhythm in place, it's good to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. Some people think waking up late on the weekends is ideal, but the thing with that is that your body gets confused and you start to have problems. So to get your body in that rhythm, so it knows that it needs to sleep between this time and get enough sleep. Um, um, Close to the same time, it's going to be close to the same time waking up. Things like looking at social media, turning on your computers, what time you turn it on. You should really be turning your computer off at least 1 hour before you go to bed because that helps for for sleep. And also the blue light for your from the computer disturbs sleep. So there's a lot of things that disturb it, but there are loads of tools that you can get to help to minimize the disturbance. um, and then another lifestyle habit is limit alcohol. So very, so excessive alcohol obviously is a no-no in terms of your immune system. You get a brewery down there, doesn't really work well for your gut and disturbs your whole system. So limit the alcohol intake. And then the normal protective measures in terms of lifestyle, washing, not touching the face too much, especially when if you got acne, because then that spreads. Isolation when sick, coughing to the elbow, just the normal common sense approach that we have in terms of habits. And then it's me saying don't touch the face, and I've touched my face several times. Bad habit. So caution. Obviously, if there's pregnancy, herbs are potent and so are essential oils. You need to speak to your healthcare provider before using those things. So, working with me. If you have issues around overweight, so weight management, you're feeling stressed, feeling anxious, because like I said, I'm a health and fitness coach, but I work with the body, mind, and spirit. So, it's very important to have everything managed. So it's not just on the food side, although food is my specialty, especially because as a nutritionist, I love the food side of things. If you're feeling bloated, you have brain fog. So the thing with our body, everything is connected. So it's like a domino, one goes wrong, and you find out after a few years, everything else is going wrong. Are you feeling inflamed? Do you have skin issues? Suffer from gut issues? Do you have any sugar cravings? Are you feeling bloated? Um, you always get colds. Flu season comes around. You always get the flu. Do you always get easy to pick up viruses and catch viruses? Or, um, I mean, there's a belief that we don't catch these things. They're actually within us. It's that it's because the viruses are different, obviously, from bacteria, so they're within us, but they can overgrow and cause us to be sick if we have a weak immune system. So it's about getting all that in control. So I do coach in these areas to help people achieve their goals, their health goals. So I have a 90-day offer, 90-day challenge to crush your health goals and strengthen your immune systems. And obviously the bonus you get from that is getting the body of your dreams. Um, and what you get, so you get a strategy call. So we start off with a survey to determine what your special goals are, work with you on your goals to set up your a vision board as to where you want to be within those 90 days. And also, okay, you get a journal, because some people prefer to have the um, handwritten to work on paper as opposed to work on the computer. So you get that with that. Get weekly calls to talk about. So the first call obviously will be the first week, determine what the goals are, and then we review the goals from the past week and set goals for the following week and work on the mindset hacks, because a lot of our change has to do with our mindset. So we're gonna use some tools to work on mindset spanner. If there are any limiting beliefs keeping us stuck. Also, it comes with a fitness app, um, which you can set your daily nutrition plan in there, your exercise regime, and it tracks all that, so you can monitor what you're doing. We do some spiritual work and gratitude work. And like I said earlier, work on mindset change, mirror exercises, self-love, limiting beliefs, etc. And and for a limited period, for the 90 days, it's it's 65% discount, so from 591 to 201 pounds, or 197 pounds a month, down to 67 pounds a month. And you can register by using that link, which I shall put in the description later. And I will be sending out the slides tomorrow, so you can get all that information. So I'll just leave this quote with you. The good health is a powerful tool to help you manifest what you want. You have got good health, you know what you want. You decide what you want. So your thoughts plus your actions create your reality. So any questions, you can put that in the chat. See if there's any questions, put that in the chat, or you can, if you're watching the replay, you can put that in the comment section and I will get back to you with a response for sure. So these are my contact details, websites, not very up to date, but not too bad. Tells you briefly what I do. And you can email me on info@apeonylife.com. And until next time, I shall be doing one webinar a month. And if you've got any topics you want me to address, you can again put that in the comments section. And my next topic will be on stress and how it affects the immune system and what you can do. So more details. This was that kind of more general topic. And so that's it for now. And until next time, it's bye from me.